Good afternoon, students. So here is just a sample video. If you need help or need revision or anything, you can come back and check this video. So I'm just gonna go over these few problems. You know, we're solving system of equation, but now we're doing it by substitution. All right. So I got a couple of examples that I'm gonna go over. So the first example here, you know that step one is you have to isolate for a variable, which here, as you see, x is already been isolated here. So the next thing that I got to do is I have to go to step 2, which is I'm going to replace the value here in the other equation here. All right. So this is the equation. So I'm going to rewrite that equation. So let me go here. I'm going to rewrite this equation, but wherever I see x, I'm going to replace it with 6. So I have 10. Instead of me putting x, I'm going to do what? Replace it with 6. And then, so I go from here, and then I have minus 7y is equals to negative 10. All right. Sorry about the blurriness. Should be there now. There you go. So here I replace it with 6, and now I got to solve here. So what I'm going to do, this is going to give me 10 times 6 is 60. Okay. 10 times 6 is 60. And then it's going to be 60 minus 7y is equals to negative 10. But from here, I need to solve for y, so I'm going to try to get rid of the variable here. So let me box this, because this is our first equation here. So here now, this is going to be, I'm going to subtract 60 on both sides. So I'm subtracting 60 on both sides. So once I do that, these cancel, so I have negative 7y is equals to negative 70, but I need to get y by itself. Sorry, I don't know why the video is going there. So I need to get y by itself, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by negative 7 on both sides. So when I divide by negative 7 on both sides, these cancel, so y is equals to positive 10. All right, so we have y is equals to positive 10. So now there isn't much for me to do because I already have x is equals to 6. So now we have y is equals to positive 10. All right. So in IXL, you're gonna have to write your answers in the form x, y. Okay. So here your solution would be x is equals to 6 and y is equals to 10. All right, but you still have to go back and check to verify that your answers are correct. So you got x is equals to 6 and y is equals to 10 here. So there's much for me to do in the first equation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the second equation, which is I'm going to go through the second equation. So I'm going to rewrite this second equation, but wherever I see x and y, I'm going to replace it with these values. So I have 10 times x, which is 6, minus 7 times y, which is 10, should give me negative 10. So I have 60 minus 70 is equals to negative 10. Negative 10 is equals to negative 10. And this confirms that it is true. All right. So again, this is what you're going to plug into IXL. Okay. All right. So let's go to the second problem here. All right, let's go to the second problem here. So now the first thing I got to do is I got to isolate for one of the variables. So when I look at the second equation here, I realize that it's easy for me to figure the x out. So I'm gonna take from, again, let me box my original equations here. Okay, so I box my original equation. So I have x minus 2y is equals to negative 9. I need to solve for x. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 2y to both sides. All right, when I add 2y's to both sides, these cancel, and I'm left with x is equals to 2y minus 9. All right, so now we have something for x here. So I'm gonna go back to the first part here, and so let me draw a line here so you don't get confused. I'm gonna go back to the first part here. All right, so wherever I see x, I'm going to replace it with 2y minus 9. So I have negative 6, and then that's going to be times x, but x is 2y minus 9. All right, and then I'm going to continue the rest of the equation. So it's minus 4y equals negative 2. So I got, when I distribute here, I get negative 12y plus 54 minus 4y is equals to negative 2. Alright, I combine like terms here, so I get negative 16y plus 54 is equals to negative 2. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna continue this problem here. Alright, so let's continue here. So I have negative 16y plus 54 is equals to negative 2. Now I need to get y by itself. How do I get y by itself? I gotta subtract. I'm gonna subtract 54 on both sides. So when I subtract 54 on both sides, this cancel. So I have negative 16y is equals to negative 56. Now I need to get y by itself, so I'm going to divide by negative 16. Alright, so when I divide by negative 16, y is equals to 7 over 2, or you can say y is equals to 3.5. Alright, so now I have a value for y. Alright, I have a value for y. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the point where I had x is equals to 2y. So from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if x is equals to 2y minus 9, then x is equals to 2 times, what was y? Y was 3.5. 3.5 minus 9. So x is equals to 7 minus 9. X is equals to minus 2. So I have x equals minus 2, and I have x is equals to 3.5. So again, like we did above, we're going to have to come back and check. We're going to have to check to make sure that's true. So I'm going to check for in both equations. So if I'm checking in both equations, let me draw this line right here. Alright, so if I'm checking in both equations, I have negative 6. I know that x is negative 2 minus 4 times y is 3.5, and this should give me negative 2. So let's see, we have 12, and this is going to be minus 14 is equals to negative 2. Negative 2 is equals to negative 2. Boom, that's correct. So now let's check the second one. So x, which is, so if we have x minus 2y equals minus 9, x is negative 2 minus 2 times y, which is 3.5, okay, is equals to negative 9. So we have negative 2 minus 7 is equals to minus 9. Minus 9 is equals to minus 9. Boom. So again, I'm going to write my solution now. From this point, I'm going to write my solution. So here I can say solution in terms of x and y. X is negative 2. Y is 3.5. Alright? Alright. Boom. So let's look at the last problem now. So here I'm looking at my last problem. So I have y is equals to x minus 3, and I also have y is equals to x minus 2. So I have values for y in both. So what I can do is I can take the value I can take the value of one of these y's and replace the other. So what do I mean by that? I can say 4x minus 5 is equals to 6x minus 3. And again, as you can see, I just took the value here for y and replaced this y. So now I'm going to solve for x. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract, I'm going to add 5 on both sides. Right? So when I do that, I get 4x is equals to, what is that, 6x minus 2. But now I need to get x by itself. So I need to get x by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this x over here. So we have, So how do I do that? I'm going to subtract 6x on both sides. Excuse me. So when I subtract 6x on both sides, I get negative 2x is equals to negative 2. Now, how do I get x by itself? I'm going to divide by negative 2 on both sides. So from there, x is equals to 1. So we have x is equals to 1 here. Alright, so now if x is equals to 1, x is equals to 1, I just need to go over here. Plus 5, oh sorry, this is supposed to be positive 2, so that this is positive 2, so this is negative 1, sorry. Alright, apologize for that. So here we're going to go over here, we know what x is, so it's easy for me to say y is equals to 6, but wherever I see x, I'm going to replace that with negative 1, and then it's going to be minus 3. So y is equals to negative 6 minus 3, y is equals to minus 9. So from there, again, I'm going to have to check my answers to verify, because I have the value for x and I have the value for y. So if I take y, which is minus 9, so if I say y is equals to 6x minus 3, so it's going to be negative 9 is equals to 6 times negative 1 minus 3. So what do I get? It's going to be negative 9 is equals to negative 6 minus 3, which this goes to negative 9 is equals to negative 9. Boom. That's correct. Alright, so now I can check the other, which is going to be y is equals to 4x minus 5. So negative 9 is equals to 4 times negative 1 minus 5. So we have negative 9 is equals to negative 4 minus 5. Negative 9 is equals to negative 9. And again, that's correct. So now I can write my solution. My solution is going to be x is negative 1 and y is, what's the value of y? Y is going to be negative 9. That's it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to help you. Alright, bye. Have a good day.